going on, everybody? I told y'all I wasn't going to do like traditional videos, and I'm not, because like I said before, they're taking basically my money, and by this I can do live streams for washing my car and show you what I use and stuff like that. But install videos and stuff, I mainly use that money to buy other mods for the channel. So if I do install videos, like I said before, and I don't get that money, then you know, that is what it is. But today we're going to be washing the car, and the very first thing I'm going to do is here in Tennessee we have a bunch of these little twirly birds. I don't know if y'all know what that is. I may try to answer comments and stuff like that as I go. I'm not going to answer all the comments. This is probably going to be a boring video for you guys, but hey, it's something to do. We do have a couple people on. Let's see here. Rob, what's up, Rob? Gear Runner, what's up, bro? Not much. Hey, Andy, what's up, Hunter? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to blow this car off because we've got a bunch of those twirly birds on here, and I just want to get those off to start with. All right. Now we got those off. This is probably gonna be a long video. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's gonna be boring. If you want to drop in and out, that's fine. I'll try to read comments periodically. Like I said, I won't get them all. But this car, I've not even driven it. I watched this thing about 2 or 3 weeks ago. You can see the stupid cat prints on it. But I watched this about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we get so much pollen here in Tennessee that you can see it's just yellow. I literally have probably not put 30 miles on this car this year. And that's since January. 30 miles, maybe 50 at the most. I never drive this thing. I do start it and let it, you know, warm up, do stuff like that. If you're going to store a car, not going to drive it, start it, move it. I do back it around. I may drive it around the block every once in a while and bring it back periodically. But really and truly, I never drive this car that much. There's no car shows. I would love to take it to car shows and Mustang shows and stuff, but there's nothing like that going on right now. So it just kind of sits here and collects pollen. Now the car isn't dirty under the pollen necessarily because I don't drive it, but it does get a lot of pollen on it. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to try to get this thing cleaned up as best as possible. No clue how long this live stream is going to be because it takes me forever to wash a car. This thing may go 2 or 3 hours. Who knows? At least I don't have to clean the inside. The inside still looks spotless. But what I use, and I've been using this forever, is Meguiar's Gold Class. I get this at like Advance Auto. I've been using this soap forever. I'm sure a lot of people use like Chemical Guys and stuff like that. And I have used Chemical Guys. But to tell you all, I can't really use a foam cannon here. And that's mainly because I don't have anywhere in the shade to really wash the car. And I'm afraid if I foam it down, a lot of times we get a lot of heat here in Tennessee. And I'm afraid it'll dry on the car. So I don't use a foam cannon. This stuff suds up pretty good, and that's why I mainly use it. Now, one thing I want to do is spray out the bucket before, and I only use 1 bucket. I know people's gonna freak out about that. Like, you should use a 2-bucket system. I've never used a 2-bucket system in my entire life. So I don't know, I've just never done it. I actually don't even put anything in the bottom to like differentiate the dirt from everything else. And I know I'm not a role model at this by no means. Let's see here. Shh, I'm sleeping. I know I ain't been up long probably. Blow step was not necessary. I wanted to get all those twirly birds off of it and stuff like that. We got a lot of twirly birds and pine needles and stuff like that on it. I use the same soap. Nice. It's good stuff. DM Jones, what's up, babe? Nope. Only Adams soap for me. High quality. This stuff's a good soap. I've been using it for 20 years and never had any issues. Hey, Mark. Ooh, howdy. What's up, Desi? How's it going? So let's put some of this soap in there and get this thing going. I actually use quite a bit of soap, to tell you the truth about it. I know you're only supposed to use like a capful. I use a lot. That's just how I do it. And this nozzle is the best nozzle I've ever seen. My other one actually broke this year and I had to order this one from Lowe's because I couldn't go out and get one. So this one's basically brand new. I love this thing. Now, I definitely don't rush this. I love these cars. I love all my cars, and I don't rush this at all. That's why it takes me so long to do it. And like I said, this live stream will probably go 2 hours or more, so drop in and out. I probably won't answer all the comments, like I said. Maybe boring, but hey, you can stop in and say hi, kick back later, and see what the final product looks like. All right. So, the soap's coming over, so we're good. I actually have several different things I use to wash this car. This is the only one that I use to actually touch the paint on the car. This is the only thing I use. I've been thinking about getting one of those mitts, but for right now, I have a microfiber type sort of sponge. I have a blue one that I use on the wheels. That way I can keep them separate. Have a bug thing that I will not need to use on this because I don't have any bugs. But if I do have bugs, it's probably gonna make y'all cringe. I do use one of these every once in a while. And this is actually for the tires. I don't use anything but the tires. And I was actually fixing to order a new set of wheels and tires for this car because the tires are kind of dry rotted because they hadn't been drove or anything in so long. They've got quite a bit of tread left, but they're just getting old. And the date code I think was see if I can find the date code. I think it was like a 2011, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 2011. So these tires are actually getting pretty old. They're 9 years old. So I was actually fixing to order a new set of wheels and tires. I'm not getting rid of these wheels because original Roush wheels are actually really expensive right now. Those wheels are crazy expensive. So I want to keep them with the car if I ever go to sell it because it'll make the car more valuable. But I'm not a big chrome fan, and you take a chance on, like, you know, curbing them or something. I've never curbed these wheels. Actually, I don't remember the last time I ever curbed a wheel, knock on wood. I probably just jinxed myself. But you take a chance on curbing these. So I was actually fixing to order a set. I actually have a set found, but when I found out I had to turn my money in to the place that I'm getting my checks from, I did not order those wheels. So this thing's going to sit on these for at least probably another month or so. But as soon as I get back to work, I do plan on getting a new set of wheels. I did decide to go with a gunmetal wheel and not a black because there's not any black on this car. All my other vehicles have black wheels, so I decided to go something a little different. So I'm going to go with a gunmetal wheel. I've already got the wheels picked out and the tires picked out and all that. But just didn't order them yet. So let's get this thing going and get her cleaned up. One more thing, I do use microfiber towels, so I'm cleaning out inside the door jambs and inside the trunk and underneath the hood. And I do use one of these absorber things. Man, I've used this thing forever. Christina, what's up, Christina? How's it going? Hope y'all are having a great day, and hope quarantine isn't driving you too crazy, because it is driving me nuts. But at least it's nice enough day. It's not hot. This water's gonna be cold. It's probably about 60, no, it's actually not even 60 degrees right now. It's probably more like 57 degrees, so it's actually a little chilly. But I've been using one of these forever, and they work really well, so I always dry the car with that. And now I'll use the blower again to kind of blow the water out of all the cracks and crannies and stuff like that. And then I'll actually dry a second time to make sure all of it's gone. This is definitely a process for me. I mean, it takes forever. And like I said, it's gonna be a long live stream, so feel free to drop in and out because I know you're not gonna want to watch me do this whole car. Especially when I'm not probably gonna be talking the entire time. You can see all the yellow, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it, all the yellow pollen just coming off this car. Actually clean underneath it. I may not need to wash it after I got all the pollen off of it. I could probably just dry it now and it'd be okay, but we're not going to do that. We're going to wash it. I enjoy washing this car. I love my Tundra, but this Roush is probably one of my favorite vehicles. I love how it looks. I love the color. The only thing that there's an issue with this car is these stripes are vinyl. And even though this car doesn't see the sunlight very often, I do have a crack in one of my vinyl stripes. That's just a problem with vinyl. Vinyl will crack over time. This car is an 07, so it's what, 13 years old now, so it's only got 24,000 miles on it, but over time, these things just get hard and crack, and that is what it is. So eventually, not sure how I'll do that. I'll probably have this car restriped eventually. Don't know if I would. It being a Roush, I would almost take it back to Roush and let them do it, or send it to Roush and let them do it, or something like that. Don't know when that day will come, but if I get very many more cracks in this vinyl, the paint is pretty much pristine. There is a few places on the front bumper that has some scratches, but other than the front bumper, the paint is pretty pristine on the whole car. It's just those vinyl pieces are cracking. And like I said, I might eventually take this car back to Roush or send it back to Roush, which I believe is in Michigan. And I've never been to Michigan. Maybe I'll drive up there. I don't know. But let them actually redo the stripes on this car. And I might even let them repaint the bumper on the front. Just to kind of, you know, make the front bumper look like it should. But the cracks on the bumper really aren't that bad. Actually, there's not as much water in that as I thought there was. It just bubbled up. There we go. Now there is. Like I said, I know that you all probably have different ways to wash a car than I do. And I'm not saying my way is right. I'm just saying this is the way I've always done it. My dad has cared for his cars probably as much as anybody I've ever seen in my life. He washes his truck like 3 times a week. It's crazy. And it's pretty much done that as long as I can remember him doing it. You could eat off the engine of his old truck he used to own, and it was a daily driver. I mean, it was nuts how well that he maintained that truck. So I just kind of learned it from him. Now, my dad is way more meticulous than I am when it comes to his vehicles, but I like to keep mine clean as much as possible. I just do small spots at a time because, like I said, this sun will bake it. I'm a huge stickler about getting off the soap ball. And even though I know I'm washing this car, I will make 40 trips around this car to make sure I have all the soap off. I'm bringing mine over for bath. Can't get Sean to do it. Come on, Sean. GT350, no, it's actually a 07 Jack Roush Mustang. you should always do the wheels and tires first. I don't do those first because I don't use a separate bucket. I work from the top down, and then once I get to the wheels and tires, I actually use the same water and just go ahead and clean them as well, and that's why I don't do that. That way any dirt that's on the top runs. I understand if you're spraying them off it can splatter, but I do continue to spray it off as I go. I smoke a little weed, and hey, you do you, man. Whatever you want to do. You don't use a dedicated wheel and tire cleaner gear. I don't. I really don't. I never really have. I've tried it, and I've not noticed as big a difference as what I have seen just doing it like this. Now I do use like some tire spray after it's all over with, but as far as a dedicated wheel and tire cleaner, I've tried it in the past, and I've just never done it. Need bikini for car wash. Hey, let me tell you what, Ron. This is so funny that you say that. My wife told me that I should put on Daisy Dukes and like a cut off white t-shirt to do this, and I came close to doing that, but it was like only 50 some degrees, and I know y'all would laugh your hind end off if I did that, but I didn't. Thanks, man. I'm gonna cut my yard. Have a nice day. You too, Daniel. Have a nice day. What's up, Gear? Not much. Run's laughing. Desi, that'd be cool. Yeah. She said, go in there and get a pair of jeans and cut them off into Daisy Dukes. And then I said, whoa, God, that'd be horrible. Nobody wants to see that. God. Not even my wife wants to see that. I do also want to say that I move all my vehicles back. That way I don't get soap or water on them as well. We have vehicles packed all over this place, and I move all my vehicles back out of the way. Pretty thorough when I clean my vehicles as far as getting every spot. Man, there's nothing worse than seeing a car that's been freshly cleaned and there'll be like a big streak on the side of the door or something where they missed a spot. There's other people in my house that do that. Not naming any names. Not naming any names. But I have seen that done before here. This is one reason I hate wearing sweatpants. Washing the car. You get soap all over them. I know a lot of y'all would probably rather see me washing my truck, but that live stream would be like 6 hours because when I wash my truck, it's an all-day event. And that's not even cleaning the inside. That's really just washing it and drying it off. It takes me about 6 hours. Crazy. Because I thought about washing my truck because it needs it too. I usually just try to go in straight back and forth motions. I try not to do like a swirl type thing. Now you get around areas like the hood and stuff, you may have to go around corners and stuff. But really and truly, I just try to go straight back and forth. Got my foot stuck underneath the wheel. There was so much pollen on this thing that pollen was like hanging off of the front of the hood. Almost looked like icicles. It was crazy. Tons of pollen. I think I forgot to get up underneath there. One thing I would also like to say, you see my car is angled backwards, and that's because my driveway has a slope to it. Now, I don't drive this car very much, and if you turn it around the other way, you'll get water inside your exhaust. This way, the water I spray around the exhaust will actually drain back out, or most of it will. But if you turn it the other way, that water's just gonna sit in there. And then I'm not gonna drive this car for, 2 or 3 weeks, 5 weeks. I don't know how long it'll be till I drive this car. And that water's just gonna sit in there and collect in one spot and just start rusting that exhaust even from the inside out. So I always turn my cars backwards in the driveway, so any water that goes in the exhaust, most of it can get back out of the exhaust system. Now, if you're gonna drive your car for a long distance or daily drive or something like that, that may not be as important as a vehicle that you're not gonna drive, every day. But since I put a whopping 30 miles on this car in, almost 5 months, I'm obviously not going to drive it. So I always make sure that the exhaust is angled back the opposite direction. You need to do some hydrophobic properties place. So that paint clean is so much better. You'd be amazed how much. I'm sure it is, but with as many vehicles as I own, I don't have time for that. I really don't. I guess I do right now, but it's raining all the time here. We have like today, and then it's supposed to rain tomorrow night. Then it's supposed to rain like 4 days straight. It's rained literally like the last 4 or 5 days. So saying that I don't have time, really and truly, it's not that maybe I don't have the time to do it right now, but I don't have the weather to do it right now either. If I was off like in June or late May, if I'm off like that, I might have time to do something like that. But I don't have the weather to do it. I don't have anywhere to get it inside to do it, and I just can't get around to doing something like that. But I'm sure it is great how easy it is to clean. I've seen videos and stuff like that. But when I'm back to work, I'm doing videos and cleaning all these vehicles. It just takes up so much time, I can barely even keep them washed. Good thinking on water exhaust. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. There's a spray you can use that eliminates the water spots from forming. Amazing stuff made by Spear. I've checked that out. Water spots are forming. I'm sure they are. But I keep it wet. Yeah, better you. Hurry. Yeah, I know it. I keep it wet. It's not extremely hot today, so it's not going to be as bad as it normally is. I walked around this car like 50 times washing it, trying to keep it wet. The front end of this car is the hardest because it has a bunch of ground effects and stuff up front, and just a bunch of nooks and crannies to get into. All these little vents and everything down here. This isn't a factory like normal GT style bumper. It does have a Roush front bumper on it, and it has factory fog light or Roush fog lights in the bumper, which normal Mustangs don't have that. So there are a bunch of nooks and crannies that normally wouldn't be in a bumper. Or wouldn't be in a GT bumper, let me say that. And really and truly, one reason I probably don't have a lot of time is I only hand wash all my vehicles. Doesn't matter which one it is. I never take them to the car wash and scrub them. I only hand wash all of them. It takes a lot of time to do it right, and it is what it is. And like I said, I may not be normally washing the ground effects if I've been driving this car, the same one I'm going to wash the car with, but I've literally not driven this car at all since the last time I drove it, so or the last time I washed it, and there shouldn't be anything on the ground effects because I'm not being able to throw anything up on it. So literally, I should just be taking, pollen off the whole vehicle. Shouldn't be any kind of grime or anything like that on it, but normally I wouldn't wash right in front of the wheels with the same brush or same sponge that I'm actually washing the car with. But like I said, under these circumstances, it shouldn't be dirty. Other than pollen. Actually, it's not as bad cold out here as I thought it was going to be. After I started moving, I actually started sweating a little bit. I'm sure this is about as fun as watching paint dry for you guys, so I appreciate everybody being here. But I just wanted to put a video up. I didn't want y'all to not have anything to watch or, anything like that. So I wanted to put something up. So I thought I was going to wash this car today. So I thought, hey, I'll throw up a live stream, and if it goes, 2 hours, people can drop in and out and leave comments and talk to each other, because I know I can't read all the comments, but at least it gives you something to see on the channel. And my live streams go over an hour. For some odd reason, YouTube demonetizes them anyway, so it'll be demonetized anyway. A lot of people probably actually thought I'd sold the Roush. I've not sold the Roush. Can't say that I've not thought about selling a few things and buying one awesome thing. Check this out. Rooftop 10. Rooftop 10 on a Tundra. That's pretty cool. I like how it looks. But I love this car. I love it. So I just don't know if I could bring myself to do it. Even if I could sell this and another one and buy like a GTR, a Nissan GTR, which is one of my dream cars, it's just hard for me to do it because I don't know which one would be worth more in the long run. I'm sure the GTR probably would be if I was guessing. If this was a stage 3, the GTR might not be, but being a stage 1, the GTR might be worth more than this, but there's a lot of hidden cost to owning a GTR. A brake job on a GTR is like $3,000. So a brake job on this, I could probably buy drilled and slotted rotors, just like I did on the Jeep, and have less than $1,000 in a brake job with drilled and slotted rotors. And GTR's brake job, doing it yourself, is between $2,000 and $3,000. I think I read, actually at a dealership, it costs upwards of close to $5,000. So just because you can afford a car, don't mean you can afford the maintenance. There's a lot of things I could probably afford the payment on, but I couldn't afford to keep it up. Pine needle. I mean, in all truthfulness, you can buy like a $100,000 Maserati used with low miles on it for like under 20 grand. But the maintenance on a Maserati and how unreliable they are tells you probably shouldn't do it. And GTRs are actually fairly reliable overall, but there's just a lot of, like, their transmissions, if you use launch control a lot, I've read that they void your warranty. Your transmission, if you use launch control a lot, will probably go out, because that's the weakest part in the car pretty much. So if your transmission goes out, you're probably looking at, I don't know, $15,000 or more to replace a transmission, just guessing. So there's a lot of cost in there that people should think about when they start seeing these big cars that are over $100,000, and now you can pick those up for around, I don't know, let's say you can find GTRs with decent miles on them now for around $55,000 to $65,000. So you can actually find those things pretty reasonable as far as that goes. But the maintenance on them is outrageous. Maintenance. Hope this ain't buffering too much. I know California a lot of times has water regulations. In Tennessee, we don't have that problem. It rains here all the time. So if I'm using a lot of water, then don't worry about it. It's not that big an issue here, to tell you the truth about it. But all in all, how cool would it be to have a 2.8 second GTR to 60 with like a 190 mile an hour top end car? Not that you could ever drive at 190 mile an hour, because there's just nowhere really safe to do that. But it would still be pretty cool. One place people forget about cleaning, and I don't ever do this, forget about it. And normally, like I said, I probably wouldn't do it with this, but inside your gas cap, don't forget to wash in there. There is painted surfaces in there, so make sure you get inside your gas cap. Like I said, I've not driven this car, I've not put gas in it or anything like that. So I knew there wasn't no gas on it or anything since the last time I cleaned it. But don't forget inside your gas cap. A lot of people do forget that, and nobody may not ever see it, but you'll see it when you open it. Make it all nice and pretty. And one thing I do is the sun is always on this side of the vehicle, so I wash it last. I always do the side that's kind of in the shade first. also, if this isn't too boring for y'all and y'all want me to see me wash my truck, just leave in the comment section. I don't care to turn it on and let it run while I'm in the comment section. Desi, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the super chats. I do want to tell y'all, if you give me super chats right now while I'm in quarantine, the company that's paying me is just going to take that money. So please save that till I get back to work. I'm not fussing. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. But every dollar you give me right now is just going to go to a company that probably has millions and millions of dollars. So thank you again. But I don't want you all to waste your money at this time and it not actually be going to me for the channel and it just going to somebody else. I'm just doing this so that you all, can have something to see on the channel. I don't want to I feel guilty not putting anything up. And so I knew I was going to do this today. And again, I greatly appreciate it. I just don't want that money to go somewhere where you all didn't want it to go to. My approach to water use is if there's going to continue to sell to me. That's true, it's true. Never thought I'd watch a live stream and someone watch. I get it. Man, that's about much time as I spend washing a car a year. Yeah, I spend, as small as this Mustang is, I'll probably spend at least a couple hours cleaning it up total. And like I said, my truck, I'll spend probably 6 hours or more just washing it and drying it off and stuff and wiping off the door jambs, and that's not even cleaning the inside. I feel like I can see pollen getting back on it when we wash it. I swear, it looks like it's getting back yellow as I'm spraying it off. A lot of pollen in Tennessee, a lot of pollen. And everybody here is like coughing because we all have allergies. And people probably think we all have the coronavirus, and we don't. We have allergies. And allergy season is like kicking up right now big time, as you can see from all the pollen that was on the car. So a lot of people in Tennessee may seem like they have the corona, and they probably don't. Unless they've got a fever, then they may. All right, we're getting really close to getting it washed. It'll be dried off. Really close. One more fender. And then the wheels and tires. I'm getting old. This is winding me. Again, I always just try to keep the car wet as much as possible. mitigate as many water spots as I can. Okay, now like I said, I always use a different sponge and a brush on the tires. The tires probably aren't dirty because like I said, I haven't washed it. We'll just try to knock off some of the pollen. And again, the wheels aren't dirty either. Same thing, just knocking off some of the pollen. If y'all didn't watch my video about why you should hate chrome, these wheels, you know, I don't like chrome. If I was going to have chrome wheels, I do like the way these are designed. But before I got the car, whoever had rotated these, whenever they took it in the dealership, didn't take the time to actually put the socket into the lug nut and hit the wheel, and has chipped the chrome on the wheel. So unless you're going to be rotating your wheels yourself, there's a hazard that you may face. More wheels and we just got to dry her off. The one thing I am going to miss about these wheels is I probably won't transfer these blue valve stems over to the charcoal wheels because I don't know how that'll look. I may try it on there and see what it looks like, but I don't know how that bright blue valve stem cap will look like on the charcoal wheels. And I love the way that kind of accents the wheels right now because it matches the blue paint. So I am going to kind of miss that, I think. And it may look okay, I don't know. Won't know till I get the wheels in. We'd like to give a shout out to American Muscle though. If you're looking for Mustang wheels and tires, they'll actually mount and bounce them for you and ship them straight to your house. So you don't have to go to the tire store or anything like that. Literally all you have to do is take these off and put the other ones on. So that's pretty cool. Mount and bounce. They'll even do they have a kit for the TPMS sensor, and they come with a remote to set them, so you don't even have to worry about swapping that out or anything. I don't know if anywhere like Discount Tire or Tire Rack mounts them before they send them to you, but I know American Muscle will. It's free. You don't have to pay any more to have them mounted and balanced. And like I said, to me, that's pretty cool. About tripped over the water hose. That'd have been funny, wouldn't it? Desi baby, what's going on? Let's see, here is the Tundra next. Not today. Starting side is irrelevant. Really, if you're washing in the sun with or treated once water, your initial rinse, the clock running. That's true. That's true. 4. Nice, made that spot onto the green. This should set me up for a nice birdie. Nice. I ain't played. I was just talking to my neighbor about golf just a few minutes ago. I've not swung a golf club. I love golf. I've shot 4 under is my best round I've ever shot on golf on 18 holes. And that's been many years ago, but I've not swung a golf club in, it'll be 2 years next month since I swung a golf club. Now, I'm not saying YouTube has anything to do with that, but what started about 2.5 years ago? Can't see me. This wheel over here is actually the worst wheel for whenever they rotate them. If I do decide to keep this car, ooh, I've stood up too quick. If I do decide to keep this car for a long period of time, eventually I will have these wheels re-chromed, make them look new again. Because I would want to sell it, you know, when I was like 70, have some kind of retirement. All the neighbors know I YouTube, so they don't look at me funny no more. They used to, though. I had people stop and ask me why I was talking to a camera. Other than rinsing it off and drying it, I think we're good. Good deal. Okay, what I use, and I store this thing wet because if you store them dry, they'll dry completely out. But I just use one of these absorbers. Maybe not the best thing for your car, but I've been using these for like, I don't know, how long have I been driving? 4 years. Been using it ever since I got my first car. And I've had this in forever. They last forever. And one swipe, they just take the water off. right off. You can see how much is coming out of it. So they work pretty well. I always do the top first because that's where your sun's beating down. So I always try to get the water off the top and then work my way down from there. Thing actually works pretty amazingly, especially the bees. I've had this thing probably 10 or 12 years. I had another one that it got dirty. You can wash them, but it got dirty and I just replaced it instead of washing it. Who's been watching the Michael Jordan documentary on ESPN? It's actually pretty good. I'm enjoying that. At least there's something on TV. He was very, very competitive. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I guess you got to be that way to be the best. But he was very, very, very competitive person. And I actually remember watching Michael Jordan. I actually didn't mind basketball. Now, but back when Jordan was playing, I actually did watch quite a bit of basketball. People mowing, I need to mow. I don't know if y'all can see my yard, but I need to mow. But I have a zero turn, and my yard is pretty wet, and those two things don't go together. Zero turns and wet yards, you'll tear a yard up pretty quick. Not saying it can't be done. It's just a little bit more tricky. But we may actually do that tomorrow. Like I said, it's supposed to warm up tomorrow. So hopefully it warms up enough. Dry my yard out some. I can mow the yard. I forgot the middle of the hood. Don't forget the middle of the hood. And the thing about these hoods that have these, well, mine's not real, it's fake, but these hood scoops, water likes to get up underneath them and hide and run out later. That's actually one of the main reasons that I use a leaf blower after I get done to get water out from underneath this hood scoop. y'all may think I'm actually just goofing off, but I literally spend this much time or more on all my vehicles when I wash them. And that's why I don't have a lot of time to keep them clean, because it takes me forever. I'm sure somebody out there is thinking, this guy's nuts spending that much time drying that car off. But you gotta think how much money you invest in these things. Keep standing up. I've not ate a lot today. I think I've had a pack of crackers. Every time I bend over and stand up, I get really dizzy because I've just not ate anything. You gotta think how much money you invest in these cars. And that's just a lot of money to not take care of it. Or at least it is in my opinion. I mean, you gotta think, you're talking about, God, I need to eat something. I mean, you gotta think, when you're talking about, let's say a Tundra, you can easily spend, you know, $50,000 or more on a Tundra, and you just don't want that thing to rot and go downhill. So little water spots and stuff actually can work like a magnifying glass with the sun. So you want to try to keep as much water and stuff off of it as you possibly can. Plus, I look at this as exercise. I don't get as much exercise as I probably need to. So this is kind of like a full body exercise. Thing looks way better than it did when we started. If you've been here from the start, which you're probably really bored if you have, or you're catching back up and dropping back in, this thing looks way, way better now than it did. We're nowhere near done with it, I can tell you that. And you're like, great, he's not even done. Nope, he's not even done. We still got to blow it off with a leaf blower and then get inside the door jambs, the tailgate, or not the trunk, and the hood. We're nowhere near done. And really and truly, why rush it? If you're outside, Heck, we're all quarantined probably. Don't have anything else to do other than get some meat. One thing I do want to show you is the door's locked. I want to show you that. Sometimes I shut the door a little hard, not slam it, but just a little bit, and it'll pop the water out of the holes, and then there's less to get off later on whenever I blow it off with the electric leaf blower, not a gas pipe. Electric. You really got to watch that area like a hawk, because it streaks, and I actually do have a little bit of streak there because I got carried away talking. But in these hood scoops, water will run out. It's just in there. Until I get it blowed out good, it's going to continue to keep creeping out. That's the only thing I got against hood scoops. I think they look great, but the fake ones, water runs out of them all the time. Front bumper's hardest to dry too, all them cracks are around. The same reason it's harder to wash, the same reason it's harder to dry. Pretty much dry now. So now we got to get inside the door jambs, underneath the trunk, underneath the hood. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off the water real quick so that the hose doesn't keep pressure on. I think that's kind of what will bust your water hose if you just leave pressure on it constantly. So I'm going to run around the side of the house, turn that off, and I'll be right back. Man, that thing looks a lot better. Don't forget to relieve your pressure after you do that as well. Had to get some water. I do want to say that since I've been off on quarantine, I've ate a whole box of Reese Cups. And when I say box, I've been so bored, I've just given up. That I bought one of the big boxes like you go in stores and buy, and there's like 36 2-packs in it. And I actually ordered another one the other day. That's like a weakness of mine. But heck, it doesn't look like I'm getting out of here anytime soon. And it is what it is. All right. So now, door jam time. And I just wiped this out. Like I said, I cleaned all this the other day. It looks brand new in here. I'm just gonna get the water off. I've already tore the tag off this. I always tear the tag off these as well. These microfiber cloths work really well for this. And I'd say those people delivering the paper, my neighbor, was probably wondering what in the world I was talking to. I don't know if they've ever seen me doing this, so. They were probably like, what is he talking to over there? As you can see, I actually get inside the door jams and everything, man. When I clean a car, I really try to clean it the best I can. And that's why it takes so long. But also, if you keep it clean like this, it's not hard to get that way. If mud's caked up on the inside of your door, it's going to be a lot harder to get off than it is if it's not. My dad taught me that. He was like, if you'll keep it clean, it's not that bad. And I do keep this car probably cleaner than any vehicle I own, to be true about it. This is probably the one that you can about eat off anything. If I show you the inside of this car, it is probably better than it was when it comes from the factory. Oh, Dom, I know I keep saying I need to eat. Inside the seal a little bit, there's some yellow in there. There we go. And then water runs out right there after you do it. It is what it is. It's actually running out the inside of the mirror. Literally drying a car probably takes about as long as washing the car if you do it right. I know you can't hear me because I'm all this hoods. I'm really not talking, so I apologize because it just got really boring real quick. I'm just doing the same thing on this side as I did on the other. I'll just wipe the water off this side. Now on Mustangs, water comes out from inside the door pretty bad. Let's check this hood scoop again. Before I do anything else, I may actually blow this off with the, I forgot to do that. Again, an electric leaf blower. I don't trust a gas leaf blower not to spit out some kind of gas or something, so electric's the way I do it. Time for a new rag. I dropped it on the ground. Don't ever use a rag you drop on the ground. There was a ton of water just came out of this hood scoop. Ton. The only thing I got against hood scoops. I know it ain't done. I'll have to do this 2 or 3 times. Okay. Emblems will always have water come out of them. Mirrors, door handles. Those vents are crazy. There we go. Let's get some comments real quick. Let's see what we got. Fresh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I think I heard a ting when that truck went by. No, you didn't. If it was, it hit the trailer. Back to my video shoot now. Appreciate you stopping by, Rob. Thank you, man. Nice thing. It is. It's probably getting close to 60, 62 degrees right now. Man cave. I wish I had a man cave. Rob Motive, are you a maniac or something? Everyone in this chat room, she says hi. Forever self-employed, best hunter channel on YouTube. Keep it up. The great work, buddy. Thank you very much. And again, I really appreciate the super chats. But every dollar you give me goes to the company that pays me because they deduct $1 for $1. So I just don't want y'all to spend your money and me not get it. So I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I really, really appreciate the super chats. But again, it does just go to another company. It doesn't. I have to turn in every dollar I make each month, and they deduct that from my pay. So I just don't want that. I appreciate it, but I just don't want you to spend your money going to a big company. I know they have gear having a conversation with themselves. I know, right? I know. I take an air nozzle to all the cracks, and yeah, air nozzle would work as well. I just don't have a big compressor. I have a small compressor, but I don't have a big one. So I can't use that on mine. So I just use this electric Cobalt from Lowe's. And I actually got my dad one of these too, so he can use it because he loves washing his cars as well. So I actually got my dad one of those so he can use it. Again, water always comes out the door. The door jam's the hardest part. You can see, you know, just when you think you got it dry, you don't have it dry. Not even remotely close. Water's going everywhere. And I'm doing this just so in 2 days it can probably look just as polished as it did right now. That's what sucks. Just so hard to keep a car clean in Tennessee this time of year. Probably anywhere, to tell you the truth about it. But I don't live everywhere, so I don't know how everybody's pollen is, but our pollen is horrible. But I'm assuming it is that way all over the place. Oh, about the bottom where it says Roush. This is actually my favorite thing about this car. It has Roush wrote on the balance back here. Love that. Right there is where you're going to get your most water, and that's out of your gas cap area. It's going to blow water all over the place because it's just hard to get that dry. So make sure you don't forget to blow that out in there. People driving by probably don't ever wash their cars, and they're like, why is he blowing that off with a leaf blower? I haven't washed their car in 10 years. I think that side of ours is dry. I think this side is probably dry now. Here's another big area. Just so many cracks and crannies up here in the front that it doesn't even look like I've even dried it off yet after I just blew it out. Front end of this car is definitely, like I said, the hardest part to wash. Probably isn't that bad with a normal Mustang, but this Roush bumper just has a lot of nooks and crannies everywhere. And like I said, some extra fog lights that a normal Mustang won't have. Stuff like that. Oh yeah, in case you all don't follow me, I should have been doing this video from Destin, Florida. I was supposed to leave for Destin, Florida Saturday, this past Saturday, but I'm still in Tennessee. A little bit irritated about that, I ain't gonna lie, a little irritated. Yeah. I think we got it dried off except for the trunk and the hood. Again, before you use a microfiber cloth, just take this little tag, they rip right out. Don't use that with that. Nice rims. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But again, I think I'm gonna put a set of gunmetal wheels on here. Another issue we have here in Tennessee, as you can see, lots of crap down in here. If I can get it out. I got it all out on this side. Sure. Actually, the other side didn't have any. I actually really miss going to like Mustang shows and stuff. I went to a few of them last year in Pigeon Forge. They had a big Mustang show, or was going to have one back last month, or was supposed to have. I had to cancel it. I miss going to stuff like that. Looking at cars, meeting people, stuff like that. My wife wants me to get a Tundra car show in Pigeon Forge at some time. I don't know how big I'll have to be to get that going, or even if I have to be big to get it going. But she wants me to try to have like a Tundra or truck show in Pigeon Forge and try to get that going. I don't know what that entails. I've not really looked into it yet, but that is something we're actually thinking about. Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg is a huge tourist attraction. They have tons of car shows there and tons of stuff to do. So if I could get that organized, that'd be a lot of fun. And really and truly, you'd have a lot of people show up just because it's in Pigeon Forge. And they wouldn't even know there was a car show going on. It's hard to get around that place, even without a car show, because there's so many people. So if you had a car show going on, you could, it gets crazy. I went to one of the rod runs there one time. That's what they call their big car shows. And I literally moved, and I was in my twin turbo 300 then, and it was a manual and had a stage 3 racing clutch in it. It felt like pushing on a brick. And literally, I probably moved 2 miles in about 3 hours. I mean, that's how crowded it gets during big car shows. Crazy. All right. I think the trunk area looks brand new. Good deal. And no water come out, so I must have. Well, up here top it did. While it was open, it run out from underneath the wing. There we go. There we go. Good deal. All we gotta do is the hood. Under the hood. Don't forget to put your windshield wipers back down. And really, this shouldn't be bad because I cleaned this off last time. Like I said, I've not driven it. So, under here should not be bad at all. So other than just wiping off the water that's in here, pretty spotless. A little bit of dust, a little bit of water, and we're almost done. I think we've about got it. Quite a bit of water underneath the hood. There's a lot of nooks and crannies. That's where all the water comes in the towel. I'll show y'all underneath the hood here in just a second. Let me make sure I got it all cleaned up. That'll be the final part of the video. Okay. Alright, let me bring you up here. I'll show you underneath the hood. We'll close this thing out. We've been going on 92 minutes. 92 minutes. Let me bring you up here. Show you around the neighborhood. Alright, there's underneath the hood shot. Again, it's not dirty. I don't drive it that much. So it's really not dirty. Keep it pretty clean for the most part. But there it is, underneath the hood shot. Whole car pretty much looks like that. Stays clean all the time, for the most part. So again, appreciate y'all being on here. Let me catch up on a couple comments real quick. Also, next time, don't post your YouTube about what you make while collecting. No, I would have had to turn that in anyway. YouTube sends me a W-2. They would have found that out. So they would have found that out anyway. It wouldn't have made no difference if I'd have posted it or not. They would have figured it out. Love the background of the birds singing. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Desi. Wow. Thank you very much. I need that to blow my long hair. Yeah. Matching blower, too cool. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. The blower is actually blue to match the car. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. I know this was probably a long, boring video, but I knew I was going to do this, and I wanted to put a video up for you all. So again, I do appreciate the super chats. Thank you all very much. I do greatly appreciate that as well. But that's how I clean all my vehicles. I do them all the same way, and I take just as much pride in the cheapest one as I do the most expensive one. So that's how I do it. Thank you all for being on here, and we'll see you next time. And oh yeah, I'll probably actually do a live stream just like normal on Wednesday. So my normal live streams will still be on Wednesday, but I may try to do something kind of like this periodically throughout the week that's not necessarily an install video. Feels like I'm losing my voice. But thank y'all for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.